Hello, Irish Football Fan TV. This is the player ratings, and I suppose I'm not going to be too long with them. I thought I'd give Darren Randolph an 8. He made 3 or 4 really good saves and kept us in the game. I thought he was our best player tonight because I didn't think the rest of them really showed up. Maybe it's just a bad day at the office, I don't know, but I thought Darren, he made a good save from Pookie down one end, he made a good save from Taylor, and then he made another good save towards the end, which, you know, at that stage it was 1-0, it would have been game over anyway, but he kept us in the game. So I'm going to give Darren an 8, and I think that kind of goes to show the type of game it was. He kept us in it, I mean, and he kept our defence in it really, because there was times where we just looked like no one knew what they were doing at the back. So Darren gets an 8 for me. Then on to left back, then I think in the first half I would have given End of Stevens a 6, but then he didn't really do much into the second half, so I'm going to give him an overall as a 5. Just didn't think he had a great game. I look at what he does for Sheffield United and he just doesn't seem to be able to get on the ball as much. Whether he gets the ball from the players, I'm not so sure. He's trying to link up with Connolly a lot, but Connolly cuts in, so he seems frustrated by that, whereas I think he linked up better with Mclean on the left. You know, Connolly's not a natural wide man, so he's obviously going to always be kind of attracted to the middle of the goal more so, or cutting in, than he would be going down the wing. So I can see kind of why he was getting frustrated, but I think overall he hasn't done a whole lot wrong, but I just think that from his own perspective and the standards that he's normally set, I'm going to give him a 5 in this case, and yeah, that's just the way it is. Egan, I'm going to give him a 6. I thought he didn't actually do a whole lot wrong when he was, you know, around the ball, when he had to win anything in the air. He did. When he up against anyone, he passed the ball around well, tried to play it out from the back, didn't lose possession stupidly, done most things he could have asked for. So I'm going to give John Egan a 6. People might say that's contradictory, giving Enda a 5 and John a 6, but that's just my ratings. You can let me know yours in the comments. Shane Duffy again, I give a 6 too. Didn't think he'd done a whole lot wrong as well. Just maybe positionally wise, the lads at the back, they seem to not be seeing people creeping in around the back of them. But Darren Randolph the whole time was shouting at them. Obviously he was, because it's the keeper, but letting them know there's always an extra man. And I just thought, when he needed to win his aerial duels, as usual, Shane Duffy does, but he's kind of the header at the end, kind of that makes it kind of stay at the 6. You know what I mean? Normally he's the one that saves us, and you would have thought that would have been a goal, but unfortunately it wasn't the case. And yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6 in this case. Didn't do a whole lot wrong. Wasn't a standout bad player. So I'm just going to give him a 6. And then Doherty again looks a quarter of the player that he is for Wolves when he plays with them this season. And I thought there was times where he looked really good, and there was times where he just didn't look good at all. So I'm going to give Matt Doherty a 5. Again, it's not a disgraceful rating or anything like that, but I just feel as though he could do more, I think. And I think as well as Enda, he needs to link better with the person in front of him, because it seems as though they tried to get forward, but say Colin O'Dowd, he cut in, so he doesn't see Matt Doherty's overlapping run. So I just think it's probably really frustrating for these lads who play fullback for their clubs, and then they come in to play for Ireland and try to play the same way, but it just doesn't seem to be that case. And they just end up getting really frustrated and play badly, and that's all I can make from it. Harry Arthur, I'd probably give him our highest rating in terms of the outfield players. I'd probably give him a 7, because he got stuck in and he sprayed the ball right around well. He was constantly, you know, the one shouting, screaming and talking to everybody around him. And yeah, I thought he'd done well. I thought he'd done himself absolutely no harm in terms of playing next month now if he can stay fit. So I think Harry Arthur was the one positive tonight. And then kind of just beside him, I thought Jason Malumbi, I didn't think he had an amazing game. I didn't think he did too badly either. I'd give him a 6 on this occasion. I think he still has a lot to learn at international level. It's the highest level that you can get. So he's a lot to learn at it, and I'm sure he will learn at it. And I think playing with Brighton this season will only help him. It'd be interesting to see, will he be kept in the team for the squad next month, or is this a little experiment by Stephen Kane to see if he's ready to step up to the plate? I'd still have him in the squad. I'd still keep him on the bench, and I'd have to having him maybe coming off the bench as an energetic sub to get us on the ball and stuff like that. So I'll give him a 6 in this case. Then on to Robbie Brady. I thought he started off the first half really, really well, and he looked well, kind of in the first half. First few minutes he got on the ball, he looked lively, kind of the way he finished off the game the other night against Bulgaria. But after that he just kind of fizzled out. There was moments, he had moments all right, but we need Robbie to, like, he's our go-to man in terms of big moments. He produced there the other night for Shane Duffy with the corner in, the set piece in for Shane Duffy. But look, it's another case of us just frustrating the life out of each other. Everyone kind of going on to the one positions. I know Brady is naturally a wide player, but it just seems to be very congested in that area. Everyone wants the ball. There's too many like-minded players wanting the ball in the same areas and not getting into the spaces, and that's a big problem that we have. I think if you can leave Brady ahead in the number 10 position and creating things, he's a much better player. But for some reason he was getting dragged into places that he probably shouldn't have been. He spent a lot of time out on the left-hand side, and then we kind of didn't have the player in the box then to get in. Although Callum O'Dowd was making runs in, but ultimately it wasn't anything that was of note, was it? So then Aaron Connolly on the left hand side, thought he was our bright spark in terms of up front, the only one who looked like getting chances to score. So I'd give him a 6, but he needs to get a goal fast, I think, because people are going to start getting on his back. I know he's playing out of position on the left hand side, but if he can play in position centre forward, I think you get a far better player. And I think maybe with him and Ida together as a 2, maybe this is something Stephen could possibly work on in the future. I think it might be a case of getting him then more involved through a central point of view and have a natural wide player on the wing instead of having him as an inverted winger, because I don't think he enjoys it. I've spoken to him before and he said that he wants to play as a centre forward. He doesn't want to be a Damien Duff, he wants to be a Robbie Keane. So, let's see if he can do it down the middle. And then on the right hand side, Callum O'Dowd, I thought he'd done okay. He was 6, 5, 6. I'll give him a 6 on this occasion. Didn't do anything wrong. Thought he stuck to his task well. Could maybe get a goal himself now at this point. I think he needs to start adding goals to his games. Otherwise, I think he won't be kept in the team, because I struggle to think of what he actually does. Like, he'll cut in his left foot and he'll try and cross a ball, and he'll do a couple of step overs and get into the box, but ultimately he needs to improve on his end product, in my opinion. So that's just something I think anyway. But Adam Ida up front, then I think giving him a 5 is a bit harsh, because he's still only very young, and I think this might be his 5th competitive start in senior football, and it's his 2nd international game, his first international game at home with no fans. And I think a lot of the players really suffer from having no fans really driving them on. So I'm going to give Adam a 6 on this occasion, and I think he will build on and start becoming a really prominent figure for Ireland, and I think he'll start being the main man soon. I just think he needs time. Then the substitutes, Robinson, I'm going to give a 6. I haven't got a whole lot to say about him. He came close with a shot and it was brilliantly saved by the keeper. Couldn't really fault him other than that. Again, but I kind of put him and O'Dowd in similar brackets. They need to start doing something for Ireland, because people are going to start wondering what did they offer to the team, other than they look kind of nice in possession, but looking nice in possession doesn't win you games. And then you had McGoldrick came on, 6 as well. Tried to make things happen, coming deep a lot of the time. I would have liked to see Connolly and Didsey on the same pitch, just because I think Connolly would have made those clever runs for Didsey to play him in. And unfortunately it just wasn't the case, and I think maybe he was brought on a bit too late. I know it was on the 60th minute markish, kind of time. I think it was the 63rd minute. But overall I was kind of looking, going, let's get him on the ball, and let's make things stick. You probably could have taken another midfielder out and went all for it at that stage, because I think we were a goal down when Didsey came on. We were a goal down, so I thought we could have really went for it at that point. Then James Mclean came on. I mean, I like James Mclean and everything like that, but every time he was just head down cross, head down cross, head down cross. I wish he was a bit more direct and carried it more into the box, and maybe looked to cut a couple of things back, but it was just hitting the first defender every time, and it was just really, really unfortunate. So I'm gonna give him a generous 6, but again, I'm probably giving everybody a generous 6 at this point. So anyway, let me know your thoughts with the player ratings in the comments, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.